Nice intro for the morning. Fresh off a cold. Oh, stay cold. Cheese. What up, Doc? You know, this gonna be the last one for like the next 2 years. Nah, I give it up. Caffeine morning show. Sticks. We gonna do this thing like this.
AM Caffeine Show. AM Caffeine Show. What up? It's your boy DOC.
It's your girl Marlo J.
And DJ Smooth Melody.
And yes, we are back. Hey, how's everybody doing? AM Caffeine Show crew, what's cracking?
It is cracking.
And, you know, speaking of crack, it kind of looks like Smooth has been indulging.
Okay, first of all,
I said it kind of
crack.
because it kind of, we know that Smoothie doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. Nope. He doesn't do any drugs, but he's lost so much weight. I would dare to say he kind of almost looks like he's been hanging out with Pookie and New Jack. Have you been hanging out at the Carter? Have you been at the Carter?
I have not, but in my neighborhood, it's pretty filled with them. Anytime throughout the week, two to three times a week, I see somebody doing crack or heroin.
You know what? So to piggyback off of that, Smooth D, in my neighborhood, on my bike path, I see people doing heroin all the time.
How do you know heroin versus crack?
Huh?
How do you know heroin versus crack?
Because heroin, you shoot up with a needle.
You can smoke crack heroin as well.
You can. So maybe it's just maybe just super duper heroin.
But when I see them, it's a needle. It's not. I see them with needles, like wrapping it up. You know, you taking the little. What is that?
Syringe.
A syringe. Yes. So
yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Then it could be smoking heroin.
Oh. Wow. Well, Smoke, you've lost a tremendous amount of weight, and as long as you're doing it the right way. You know, your weight loss.
I will verify to our listeners that it is not crack or heroin.
It's not crack or heroin. Okay, no. There it is. There.
A little meth every now and then.
A little meth never hurt nobody.
Oh, okay.
Today on the AM Caffeine Show, of course, we have Marlo J's watch list. Marlo J, what you got?
If you don't know what the watch list is what you should be watching and what you will be watching once I tell you what to watch. And this week, woo boy!
You got a doozy?
It's a moo.
Yes, it's a moo. And of course, we have Smooth D's Donut Song of the Day. Smooth D, you got something new for us, right?
Yeah, man. Hot new joint. You know what it is. If you think it's hot, hit me with a hashtag glaze, whack, hashtag plain. If it's super ordinary, the next biggest hit, you definitely gonna hit me with a cream filled on this one.
Oh, hey! So Smooth D's Donut Song of the Day. Before we get into our regularly scheduled programming, I believe we have a special guest coming in with us today.
Yeah, buddy.
Marlo J made this happen, and you know, when it's like times like this, like what we're going through in the world and how crazy things are. You know, we're always, especially as Black folk, we're always looking for words of wisdom, words of inspiration, you know, just something that can, you know, just kind of help guide us through. And when it's times like this, man, we kind of always either look to folks in the church or a preacher, deacon, someone like that. But people who are able to put words together, like poets and poetry at this time, like this is always these crazy times is always when we kind of lean towards hearing some of those words that are just inspirational and can kind of just guide us through these crazy times. And today we have one of the best wordsmiths, one of the best to put words together. Marlo J made this happen. Marlo Marlo, you want to bring on a special guest? It might be too special for me. I don't have the words.
I mean, you had all the words. You had very good words.
You know, I was trying to show out. I was trying to show out.
I feel like you were trying to use big words and shit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like you were trying to impress him. Like,
yeah,
you know,
I was.
I got vocabulary.
You caught that. Yeah, you caught that.
We got Mr. Malik Yusef in the building.
Malik, what's up? Malik, what's up? How you doing?
I'm super blessed. How about y'all? How y'all feeling, man?
Hey, man, hanging in there. I see you got your special light going on. We know, it's no telling where you are. Where you at, Malik?
It's quite by accident because I was filming today, and then I wound up heading to the studio. So we in the car, and I thought I was going to be able to get to the studio, and do everything before I was driving, but that didn't work. So a couple of things shook the other direction. So I'm in the car. I did this with Mike Tyson. While I was doing the thing with him and Freddie French. I hate it too because it's just so project. Maybe I can turn the light on or something.
Oh, it's all good. So,
what project you working on?
So we're all on our way to the studio. We're all going.
See what I'm saying? We riding with you.
Yeah, we riding.
How about that?
There we go.
That's good.
So you're on your way to the studio. Are you able to talk about what it is that you're working on? You said you just left a set. So is it TV, film? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm doing a documentary. It's called I don't know if I can tell the title yet. But it's about my life in the music, about my life period, but also, you know, intersectionality of the music and entertainment industry, you know, the movies I've done and directed and won awards and the people I've worked with. And, you know, I mean, it's exciting because, you know, people are like, oh man, this dude works with Rihanna, he works with Travis Scott, and you know, then I got new people I'm working with. So it's like, it's a lot, but I want to just give people a gleam onto, you know, I'm sure anybody to think like, oh yeah, Malik, he stopped selling dope, then became a famous artist. That is not like that. That's the abbreviated version. I want to show people the long version. I want them to see the work. You know what I'm saying? Like your teacher be like, what's the answer to this? Then she be like, show your work. I want that to be right what it is. So this documentary is long overdue. I was gonna do it in 2017, which made my 20th year in the industry, but I just wasn't ready yet. You know, I had a couple things had to handle. So now I'm ready to do it. So I'm working with, you know, a media specialist. He's done a lot of films. He got a film that's done, you know, about 1 million streams right now. And he's from Chicago, lives in Detroit, you know, so we're moving around. He did some stuff I did with Jaden and Jada. So I just trust him a lot. He's an expert, and also he's a creative in music and stuff too. You know, a lot of people we be multi-disciplined, right? And when in the creative field, a motherfucker, a motherfucker be a producer, a singer, a rapper, an engineer, and can knit at the same time. Type shit, you know what I'm saying? We like, what? Knit? Nigga, you knit?
He's a master knitter. He's a master knitter.
He's a master knitter. This nigga's a knitter.
So let's talk about real quick, just how you were just talking about your transition and how folks just, you know, think it's just one way. From Chicago, you know, was involved in the street. And when you were in the street and maybe trying to figure your way out, did you always have this, did you always have a connection with words? Was that something that you knew you had a gift with? And when did you kind of figure that out?
Well, I always knew I had a gift with the words. I didn't see it as a true thoroughfare or an egress from the street life. I thought the street life was my primary occupation, that it was going to be that way until I was, you know, in my 80s or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You look at the old gangster movies and you see them guys, they be gangsters forever. But, you know, what I didn't cross my mind, there was no old black gangsters. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Those was all Italians and Greeks.
Everybody's dead.
You know, exactly. So, you know, you get to understand it like, nah, they don't want you to be able to accumulate the information and the wealth and pass it down, because that fuck up their system. Their system is designed to primarily keep Black people separate from each other, then secondary, keep their resources divergent from their lives, you know. So once you start realizing that, so at about 2005, I woke up one morning and I thought about, I said, man, it's about, in my brain, I thought about 12 to 13 people I would have to kill to keep selling dope. And I was like, it ain't worth it.
Wow.
That's, you know, that's $200,000 per case.
Right, right.
So
And
you
to
not
start
only
with.
a wordsmith, you know numbers.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
You're also a
numbers.
mathematician.
I mean, yeah, no question. I know street numbers. The only real numbers that exist is margins, ratios, and percentages. Everything else is arbitrary, you know.
Right.
Arbitrary. He's gonna keep on throwing these.
Right, you're just gonna keep throwing vocabulary, okay?
Yeah. So
The vernacular.
And look at the dictionary twice, and he only been here 4 minutes.
Right. Wow. So you literally just woke up one day and thought about, in order for me to stay in this game, I'm gonna have to take off a bunch of people. I don't got that kind of time.
Got that kind of time, and I got that kind of money, you know, to be doing that. Because, you know, you talking about different organizations. You talking about the Russians. You talking the Chinese triad. You know, you talking about people that you're doing business with that may have a loose cannon. You know, a weak link in their organization. The top is always solid. You know,
right?
That the old saying, wooden slippers up the staircase, sat the slippers down.
Right.
You know, they sons, the nepotism and shit that be inside these organizations of all sorts. You know, that's in legal organizations too. You know, they let their kids run that shit in the ground. You know, I said this a long time ago. I told my daddy, I said, man, shit, me and you could have ran Bear Stearns in the ground, you know, and went away with $70 million apiece for wrecking it. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's just the whole thing. America's biggest foible outside of chattel slavery, which they could have had recompensive actions towards, they nepotism and you know, good old boy networking, you know, cronyism. They like, I'm put my boy who can't motherfucking can't even run up the stairs, run this company. They kept doing that. That's why we're in the degraded position that we in now. The politicians and all the smart guys, they go and they run the country backwards for the corporate chiefs that don't have any concept of what it's like to be poor or to have to make a come up swing. Because these guys is 10th generation money. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's why you can't let the biggest mistake is the king letting his son be the king when he done sword fought and shot arrows and carried manure and washed horses and dressed knights and been outside sleeping, been starving to death and almost froze and got sunstroke. And then he make it to the king. Then his son be having sex with his bathers from 12 years old on. Then he the king. He don't know nothing about hungry people.
Right.
He don't know nothing about how to talk to people or how to feel people's sympathy. So that's the biggest. Like I said, that's one of the seven. That's eight. That's the 8th blunder of the world. Mahatma Gandhi cited 7. Almost like the 8th one. You know what I'm saying? So I guess when I was in that, I was like, man, I'm just thinking about the people who I love and respect. That's in the mobs that I was dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Guys that, you know, that I made mistakes that could have cost me my life sometime. And they like, you know what? We're going to give you a slide. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a real good dude. And I'm thinking about they nephews. I'm like, this nigga is pudding, Joe. Like, he pudding.
Pudding.
If the police ride past him, he going to get a list of people. These is the guys. And ain't nobody can even know. He going to go home like nothing happened.
Guy, he's like, hey, I'm telling you, guy.
Exactly. hey, police, listen, I know everything.
Hey, I'm sorry.
You see,
so
then they go get the warrants and surveil you because it costs money to do surveillance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to get that shit, you know, in order. That's why this Breonna Taylor shit is so crazy for us, because these marks falsified everything as we knew they did. You know, they falsified everything to get the extra money because that's that hazardous duty pay, all that shit is extra money. And they don't care about the people on the other end. They just like, I want to do the warrant. I want to serve the warrant, which is extra money because it's hazardous duty. You know, all the overtime, all the surveillance bullshit. They saying, oh, we surveilled this. I spent another 20 hours at $20 an hour surveilling this. They get the check, and now they got to perform the task.
Right.
So all those things came into play with me, and I was just like, you know what? I can't do it. I can't do it because I can't explain to them why they nephew, you know, little Paulie is somewhere slumped over, and they like, what's the demo? You know, what you doing? I'm explaining, well, little Paulie got caught over here. He was in Maryland. He was at the strip club, and he told the girl, I can't go through that. So I just like, okay, let me get out.
Wow.
So how did you know that using your words, being in the street, I can't imagine that it's I feel like it's more brawn over brain. So how did you know?
That's the TV version of it, because the streets is a business. It's an economy. It's an underground economy. So what they show you on TV, the brutalization that comes into play because that's for any kind of infrastructure to exist, any institutionalization has to be protected, and you have to have certain components, and you have to have an army. So you have to have soldiers in that army or warriors in that army. So in the street, you have to be the king, the wise man, the clergy, and the soldier. And so what they show on TV is the soldier part of it. But what happened is businessmen started the underground economy, especially the Black underground economy, which was so necessary for us to be able to wrest some dollars out the hands of the federal government. Really, that's what they really are. They, and employers of people that don't like us. So we created an underground economy. The book was called Policy, or the book is called Kings, about the policy wheel in New York and the policy wheel in Chicago. So it was very little violence, unless it had somebody was coming against the kingdom or the structure. So these are businessmen, but also people that had a lot of brawn, like you aforementioned. They find the place because these guys are nerds, so I can come in here and push these guys around, and that's where the violence comes in, because they might be a nerd in the books, but they cousin ain't.
Mm-hmm.
And he gonna come and show up, and that's where the wars and stuff start.
So how did you evolve? How did you evolve and say, you know what? Did you just literally just one day put your hands in the air, walked away? Or did you say, you know what? I'm going to make this my means of income?
I wish it was that simplistic, but there was a lot of vacillating in my brain on how I could do it. I knew I had about 300 sitting in the streets, like mainly on the East Coast, like DC. I had 300 that I was owed, but to collect the money, you got to spend money. You got to spend time. You got to spend resources. You got to negotiate, because people got your money, you got to wait on them. Then they got to say, well, to me to get to the money, I need this. So I was like, I got about 300 something sitting in the street. I'd already purchased a couple businesses in Chicago. And then I just said, it's not worth it anymore. Leave the 300 there, because chasing that 300 might cost me $3 million, Mm-hmm. So I was like, cool, I'm gonna dip out of that. And that was in 2005. I was like, I gotta be out of here. And I was already dabbling in music. I already invested in like Carl Thomas, invested in like Common, invested in Kanye. Had did some stuff with Twister. I won't say I was an investor, but I paid Twister to do some stuff. So I had purchased some pretty strong relationships in the music industry. Have been working with Puff, like I said, but Nelly, working with those guys. So I had some pretty strong relationships. I had a pretty cool relationship with Jay-Z. I had made some foray into the fashion industry, and I had the little homie Virgil Abloh. He was our intern at Custom King. Now he's the head of Louis Vuitton. But so I felt like I had a couple resourceful, reliable relationships, and I said, I'm just gonna jump out. And then I think I made that decision the full decision I made in December. Cause I had a lick that I was doing with Kanye. We were gonna do this soundtrack for like 150 or 175,000 or something like that. And I'd already hit a lick at a commercial for like 100,000. So I was like, okay, I could probably figure out how to do this. And I said, I'm gone from the street. And I learned how to turn a computer on for the first time in 2005. I said, maybe I can figure out, some things in this computer world and this internet, these internet streets, as they say. And so by the time February came, I was with Kanye, Grammy Day. He was like, yeah, Malik, talking about some money. I was like, no, before you even talk about like investing and letting money fly on the street, that shit dead. I'm out the street.
Do you still talk to Kanye?
No. This was 2005.
So you guys don't even speak anymore? You guys just parted ways, or you guys just haven't spoken?
I mean, he's a different person than who he promised he would be, and and I had to make a decision to be the person that I said I would be. So, I guess in earnest, the Kanye West situation wasn't a bust. I mean, a $500,000 investment made me probably 50, over the course of 20 years, but it should have been 500 million or 5 billion, because it didn't do the numbers that I thought it would for me. It did the numbers for him, but for me and my genius level of, with his gumption. I went to Jay-Z's house and he was like, yo, everything you did for Kanye was right. He was right. Kanye is the one. He wants to do all the things that you don't want to do. You don't want to be on stage. You just want to get the money and you want to change the world. Kanye's not particularly like that. He wants to say he's changing the world and then just be Kanye. He really wants to express himself more than anything. And all humans need to express themselves. If you don't express, you'll be depressed,
right,
repressed.
Right.
So if you don't express, let's use the Latin suffix x, x to put out, or to leave. So it was important for him to be the way he is. It was important for me too, because if I would have made, instead of making a couple million a year, which I wound up doing with him, I made more money on my own endeavors too, because of him. But directly with him for music, I didn't make more than 50, which it should have been, like I say, 500. Or really like 5 billion at this point, because the circle he had around him. But I mean, he's not interested in seeing other people make their comeuppance, and that's something I didn't understand as well, because who he portrayed himself to be was somebody different, which is why I was able to invest so many resources, not just money, but time, energy, and information into this person as well. So
I know, but they say that some people say that he is sick, and so he can't be held accountable for his actions as of now. Like he may have a disorder or something.
Let me give you some numbers. 28% of Americans qualify as 28%? I think it's 28% of Americans qualify as bipolar, manic depressive, those kind of diagnoses, those kind of maladies. That's a lot of people. That's a quarter of the people, of the population. Dealing with trauma and the different aspects of it. I don't see none of them doing what he do.
That's the show right on. That's the show right on.
Real talk.
I don't see none of them doing what he do. Nothing he's ever said. Yeah, I mean, if they real diagnosed, just like he real diagnosed. You dig what I'm saying to you? So I've never, he's never said anything on Twitter or in public or on TMZ that I've not heard him say in public. I mean, in private.
Oh.
So is he just all the way sick? I don't know, and I'm not here to damn Kanye. He's good at doing, people gonna do what they do to themselves anyway. He didn't keep up on his end of some promises with me a lot. And, I gave him the benefit of the doubt and the leniency for him to scrupularize himself, and he never did.
Come on, scrupularize.
So he never did. And that's a thing for him. I'm not even like jolted by it. I would have loved to have the money back then 20 years ago, but I'm not going to money never come at a bad time. So I'm not going to turn it down now.
Right.
We leaving our 40s going into our 50s. We need to be in a space where, we are putting down legacy at this point, not just getting money. Like, Nigga, getting money. I've been getting money since I was 15 years old. I've been slapping people in the head with money, like slapping them. Before they was making it rain, I'll get a, and bow, then I'll peel them off a couple of dollars for slapping them in their head. You know what I'm saying? It's so crazy. It's so crazy. So, I mean, you know, and everybody know at this point, like what it really is with me, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, so Kanye, so I think they said I stole $20 million from him. No, it was something. $2 million, and it was like another company involved in it, but it all narratively came out. Malik stole money from Kanye. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I ain't never stole nothing from nobody. I took shit from people before. I'll run up in that nigga house and take different. Shit. You know what I'm saying? And right in front of his face. You know, kiss his bitch in the mouth or something. You know, I do some wild shit like that. I can understand they said that Malik did that. Like, man, Malik, wow, why would he do that? That ain't even nice. He must have been drunk or high or something. You know, why would Malik do that? What's wrong with him? But stealing? Come on, man. My integrity is too high for that. My integrity is too high. Everybody know that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never stole nothing. I ain't never stole no money. I ain't never stole no pussy. I stole a car before. I stole a car before.
There you go.
I had a little auto ring going, but even then it was done. It was done differently. I made sure
a little GTA going on, but that's it.
You know, no big deal. Right. You know what I'm saying?
But I made sure that it was cars that was new. There was no old cars. I mean, because I knew that they had to have insurance.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't want to. And I've told everybody that was in my little ring, no personal effects, no purses, no nothing, no pictures, no CD cases, none of that shit. Everything left in the driveway and move around. Don't take nothing in the glove compartment. Everything got to go back to the people, you know, because the insurance going to handle it. So now it's a crime against the system as a crime against a person. They're going to feel a little hurt from it, yeah, of course. But they're going to also get a new car because that car gone. That shit
you don't have that one no more.
You ain't got to worry about that car. If it had a click in it, a little tick in the wheel or something, you ain't got to worry about it. You got a new car. You get a car.
You get a car. You get a car because we stole it.
You know. So I'm in that space. So like stealing from this motherfucker. Come on, man. Be serious. I'm not that. You know. And I ain't never gonna be that. And why would I wait all this time? I was gonna pull a move. I think they said it was 2.1 million. 210 million maybe. Motherfucker be like, man, that's a lot of money.
So what you gonna do with that? That's different.
Yeah. 210 million. I might, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, what the fuck I'm gonna do with that though? For real. 2 million, you know what I'm saying? Like what the fuck am I gonna do with that for real?
I can think of a lot of things to do with 2.1 million. And I know that's nothing to you. But that can change my life.
Yeah, for a time, and you gotta be really smart moving with that though. You gotta move with that shit super smartly. You can't, you know. It's a system, but I've invested so much money that's not enough to get me back right. You know what I'm saying? I've invested so much time in this industry that, you know, my come up should be far greater than that. You know, if you extrapolate out everything that I put in time wise and paid for tours, I've paid $1 million to go on tour with Puffy before. You know what I'm saying? You know,
paid?
So yeah.
You paid to go on tour.
Paid to go on tour.
Not get paid to go on tour, but
no,
you
paid to go on tour. My own flights. With Puffy in Japan, I'm in Japan. You know, Puffy in the hotel, I'm in the hotel. Puffy in Cancun, I'm in Cancun. You know, same thing with Common. Common's tours weren't that elaborate then, but he'll tell you, I pay every tour I don't want. Oh, Malik. But, you know, it's also a great thing for them because they get to be like, special guest coming out. And the crowd be like, oh, a special guest. This is more. Oh, yes. So my boy from Chicago, Malik. And so same thing with Kanye. Same thing with Carl Thomas. Same thing with Raheem Devon. Rhymefest paid me to go on tour, though. You know, so these are the elements of, like, you know, of truthism that we seldom get. Because, again, Kanye's Kanye. He was who he was when he got here, homie. You know, the easy assessment is that he was never one of us. He was always just all of us. That's what Hov say. So I'm like, yeah, he was never one of us. And I don't think that he knew it, though. I don't think that he knew he was this person. But when Bruce Lee says, this is one of my quotes I like to use a lot, and I'm paraphrasing, said, you know, you think you're going to rise, you know, in an altercation or an emergency, you think you're going to rise to the level of your expectation, but you're going to sink to the level of your preparation.
Whoa.
And you know, yeah, he's never conditioned himself to be a good person. And he said, I'm not a good person. I'm like, you are a good person, bro. You do but he's never come into the fullness of being a righteous individual. He's been, you know, self-righteous, which is a different kind of righteousness.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you know, like y'all out here diligently doing this work, like for real. And it's gonna bust for y'all. It's gonna bust. I know the energy of something gonna bust. Obviously, I was able to pick Travis Scott and Kanye and Carl Thomas and, you know, Chance the Rapper and Vic Mensa. You people like, oh, Malik was right about this person and that person, and Danny Lay. And I've been right a bunch of times. I've been wrong a few times too, but I know the energy of when something finna bust. It's a certain frequency. We live in an electrical universe. Not electrical, which is different. So we live in an electrical universe, and you could tell the electrical frequencies that move. What's gonna happen? These people, they've been like, oh, this person finna bust. You know, I remember people was telling me about what's this boy's name? They're like, he finna take off Tekashi 6ix9ine. And I was like,
I thought you were about to say Designer. I was gonna say I don't know where he is now, but go ahead.
Designer. Now, Designer could have went. He was sabotaged. You know what I'm saying?
What happened?
You know, he working with Kanye West, man. What the fuck you think?
That'll do it.
Ain't nobody gonna grow around Kanye, man. He not
you
gonna
about to say about Tekashi.
Yeah, Tekashi. I was like, give that boy 2 years, he gone. I told everybody around me, they was like, Malik, no, this dude got this. I was like, it don't matter what he's got. The electricity says he's not gonna make it 2 years. And this is 2020, and I said that in 2018. We ain't mentioned that boy since he dropped his album Tattletales. Not that he can't come back. I'm saying his initial burst is not gonna last.
Right. Yo, I need to borrow your lens so I can see the electricals.
Yeah, but you know what it is though. You know, it's really honing it around other people. You know, it's like honing it, seeing what these I used to couldn't see either. The OGs that I'll be fucking with be like, this is gonna happen because they're going from their accumulated knowledge. You know what I'm saying? You gotta understand the wisdom of the crowd is always far superior to your own wisdom, no matter how much of an expert you are or an aficionado in a particular subject or a particular field. The wisdom of the crowd, because the crowd gonna have so many tidbits of information, and Bruce Lee taught us that as well. He would go back to judo as a white belt, go back to kung fu as a white belt, taekwondo as a white belt, even though he had his own discipline, Jeet Kune Do, which was his own made up, amalgamated thing from all these sciences. They like, but you a black belt. You did judo a year ago. You a black belt. He said, I started at the beginning because I changed everything because of my presence. So now the young kids that started at white belt was learning from his black belt skills. So it is far more advanced, and people innovated it. And so that's how I was able to navigate through the streets, you know, and get a look. And I've been fooled a couple of times. I've been close to losing it, you know. People who I loved, I'm like, man, dude, how you come home from the penitentiary? He the feds. How you think he come home? How you think he get a life?
You ain't gonna put that man business out there like that.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying this dude. I'm not saying Kanye. I'm talking about dudes, other dudes. But, you know, I ain't gonna say no names.
Tekashi?
No. Oh, well, Tekashi, you know, he feds, of course. He ain't hiding. He told him.
He told.
He told that he told.
Yeah. He told that he told. Totally. But he justified it, which I understand. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to go to penitentiary. That's why people evade the police. That's why these white supremacists, they kill themselves. They kill somebody, they kill themselves. You know, nobody wants to go to prison. Prison is a fate worse than death for most. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when I see these things, when I see certain kind of energies with my spiritual understanding, I could tell when somebody gonna win or fail. And you can always fuck it up at any given time on your trajectory. You can always go off a little bit this way or that way and miss the target completely.
Yikes.
But y'all a good unit. Y'all a strong unit. And I think that what y'all do is very powerful. And see, the money comes from that. The money comes from dedication. You know, that money is the byproduct of dedication. you know, dedicating yourself to money. Most people that I'm dedicating myself to the money. You might get some, but it's gonna tear you up in other places, you know. But you dedication to your craft or to a particular idea, money comes from that, you know. Money comes literally money is born out of it. Opportunity here, opportunity there, boom, 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 boom. You're like, fuck, that was dope. That was quick. 8 months ago, I was trying to figure out how to pay my car note. Now, motherfucker want me to put they want me to own part of their car lot. Should be like that. It's you cannot tell how good something gonna go. You can tell how bad something gonna go because it'll kill you.
Right.
The worst thing that can happen is you get killed. But you can never tell how good something is. And when you plant seeds in the karmic universe, in the karmic fabric of the universe, now there's a saying, a child can count the amount of seeds in an apple. Was it 6, 7, 8, whatever? But not even the wisest man can count the amount of apples in a seed, because each seed is a fucking tree with apples all over there, and each one of them apples got trees inside of them. Not apples, whole trees. So
you're a wise person. I could talk to you all dang on day.
Y'all so crazy.
We getting a master's class. Hey, we straight getting a master's class today.
A master's class. Malik Yusef.
Thank you. Thank
you so
much. Malik, so with the documentary that you're working on, do you have an idea when it's going to come out, when it's going to be released, when you're going to be completed with it? And are you holding back? Like some of these things that you've alluded to, are you telling everything? Are you holding some stuff back?
Yeah, gangsters don't do tell-alls. They do tell-sums. So I'm not going to tell everything. Tell some. I'm going to tell some. Yeah, I'm not going to tell all, you know. But a lot of this, when we talking about right now, will be covered in the documentary, you know. But I'm not going to do a tell-all because I can't incriminate, or I really can't even it's not even some actions aren't criminal. I did a lot of criminal acts, you know, but somebody just can't. I can't even show people's involvement. You know, some of the things.
The statute of limitations up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, statute of limitations is up on most of the stuff, but there's also a lot of people, you know, that, you know, I came across, a lot of women I came across that are, you know, maybe famous now or something, or were becoming famous then. They had relationships with other people that they didn't know that I also had a relationship with those people. So I won't tell that stuff, you know. And it's like, you know, it's like a part of it being a gentleman. It's like, yeah, you know, I'm not going to say no names, stuff like that.
Oh, so
just
you
out of respect.
And a gentleman.
It must be. Gotta have both. Gotta have that kind of it's the yin and yang property that go with that.
So we could be looking for this when, and what type of platform? Do you have an idea how it's going to be? Released?
Yeah, it's a multimedia platform. We're looking. It's a docu-series, so it's going to be five seasons that'll come out. They'll come out concurrently. There'll be 13 episodes per season. It's gonna be a lot, man. It's gonna be so fucking dope. But it's also, like I said,
per season.
13 episodes per season, about like a hour-long episodes. It's gonna be really crazy because it's gonna be comedy. It's gonna be spoken word. It's gonna be poetry. It's gonna be singing. It's gonna be interpretive dance. There's gonna be reenactments. There's gonna be.
If you need any reenactments, I'm a great actress.
Are you?
She's so thirsty.
I think so.
Not.
You say she's so thirsty. She being a goon. She asserting herself.
Hater. You're a hater, Doc. Why are you such a hater? Listen, let me tell you, Doc is the epitome of hater. You see that word?
Okay.
Of hater. He is the paradigm of a perfect hater.
Oh, paradigm. So all of a sudden now, since Malik said you want to use big words.
I gotta
you never use that again in your life.
I can't make him think that I am stupid.
So Malik, man, I can't wait, you know, just, you know, this time that you spend with us today, man, and the knowledge and the jewels that you dropped on us, and I cannot wait to see this product that you're working on. how can folks keep up with you until that time? You know, kind of follow, you know, your journey or whatever information you are putting out up until the time that the doc will be released. How can folks find you?
I'll be on social media, you know, sparingly, but you know, I'm not super serious social media user. But I have a Twitter, which is Malik Yusef, MalikYusef. I think that's the same on Facebook. It's Malik Yusef, and Instagram is Malik Yusef 100. Because that's where I'm from, and that's what I keep it.
What were you gonna ask me? No, D was gonna ask a question.
Oh yeah, I had just one question for you.
Yes, sir.
I'm a Midwest cat as well, so
yes, sir.
Knowing that Chicago has had so many great MCs and a lot of influence on hip hop in general, do you feel that Chicago hip hop has been represented well to its fullest?
I think so. I think, and I've always said this, that Chicago, if we ever got a hold of some gangster rappers, you know what I'm saying, that really told the real truth, because Common was way more of a gangster than he was a gangster rapper. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Same thing with Twista and his people. Same thing with Do or Die. Same thing with Crucial Conflict. They and Psychodrama. They were way more gangster than they were gangster rappers. And I said that it would be crazy. So you know, when Keith and Dirk and them came along, and it got wild. So, but I mean, it is a representation of Chicago, though. Yes, I mean, it is. I mean, it was a time when I had a shootout every day. It was a year when I had it was like one summer when it was every day, every single day, sometimes twice a day.
Nobody wants
how many bullets you gotta buy?
Exactly. Exactly. Oh my God. Exactly. Please no. We was having cases of bullets.
My God.
Yeah. People was throwing guns. We lost the. I probably lost guns. Yeah, throwing guns away when you get the police chasing you or whatever.
Wow.
You know?
Oh, I didn't know you meant throwing guns away. I thought you were saying, you know, you run out of bullets and you just throw the gun.
Right.
Just, I'm not gonna hit you with a bullet. I'm gonna throw the whole damn gun at your ass.
Yeah. You know, I'm one of the few people that's had a shootout with two white supremacist groups in two different states. I'm not gonna say the states, but in two different states. And people like, well, Malik, how'd you have a shootout and the police didn't come get you? I said, for the same reason that you never see motherfucking Miley Cyrus and Hannah Montana in the same room. Because they was the police. What the fuck you think?
Same people.
The police is the Aryan.
The shootout with.
Yeah, exactly. The police is the Aryan Brotherhood. What is you talking about? That's why the police didn't come get me. They couldn't be like, no, oh, you're under arrest.
Never mind. You're arrested. You're under arrest.
Exactly. You ain't never seen Clark Kent and Superman at the same dinner party. There's a reason for that. You know what I'm saying?
Tell them how we can follow you on social media again. What's your handles?
Malik Yusef on Twitter, MalikYusef. Malik Yusef on Facebook, same spelling, and then Malik Yusef 100 on Instagram.
Well, that's what it is, Malik. Thank you so much. You know,
I appreciate y'all.
Our journey to the studio
and the DOC.
We'll talk about split sheets and how, you know, I'm not gonna take too much for a hook or nothing like that. I'm just like 25%. We'll talk about that later.
I do a thing called split sheet sessions too. I'm starting it with Universal. It's called split sheet sessions. I'm now calling it What's the Demo. So I'm getting people to come in and, you know, have a chance to co-write some of the songs for the bigger artists. Oh. And you know, just to give them an opportunity.
Oh, that's super dope.
I'm great at hooks too.
Yeah. Acting and hooks.
I am great at hooks. Don't front. D, am I great at hooks or no?
You actually come with some pretty good ones from time to time.
Well, those hooks normally, man. Marlo at thirsty.com. Here she goes.
You know what? I want to lay hands on you so heavy right now.
Hallelujah.
Malik,
hallelujah.
Thank you for hanging out with us, Malik. Definitely, when the project is ready to kick off, please come back. Let's announce it. Let's let folks know that it's actually
out. Y'all gonna be big as hell, but y'all gonna have a line of people behind y'all, in front of me before that happens. So I'm just gonna come back and I'm getting when I fit in. Y'all gonna have a line of motherfuckers though. I'm stating it now. Motherfuckers like, man, Malik was right.
We appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, that's our man right there.
Lolo, appreciate you.
Thank Thank you so much. Make sure you guys follow him continuously. This is the AM Caffeine Show. We're going to get into the mix right now with Smooth D. That's what it is, AM Caffeine Show.